Hi friends! In today's tutorial, I wanted to share how I use Notion databases to keep track of my workouts, but you can track anything using this method. And I actually first started doing this while tracking product interviews, and then I applied it to my personal life by tracking the workouts. In terms of workouts specifically, this is something that can work for you if you care more about the whole picture at glance, as opposed to tracking sets or reps or PRs and just getting very detailed. This also could be a good method for you if you like doing a wide range of activities, or if you tend to go through phases where you do yoga for half a year and then you switch to gym or to boxing. That's definitely how I am, and I like looking at this table because it provides a good overview of how my preferences change with time and how sometimes I would do something, then become disinterested in it, then return to it. Another reason why I started doing this is because first, with many workout apps, I found that they might be suitable to track one type of activity. For example, Strava is good for running, but then I know they have other types of activities there like yoga, but it just doesn't feel right or doesn't really feel native. I feel like most of the apps are good for specific kinds of activities, but then maybe not for others. And then another thing is I learned it the hard way that when you want to export your data from a workout or health app, they don't make it very easy for you. For example, with Fitbit, I think I could export 2 or 3 months at a time. And that obviously adds up when you have years of data. And then when I tried to export something from Apple Health, I had to use some third-party app and I actually had to pay for it. So overall, it was just a long, monotonous, not a fun process. But when I keep a table like this, first, it's flexible. Second, after all, you can just save it as a CSV. And yes, I understand that Notion is still an app, but it's not a workout app. And if I wanted, I could just switch over to spreadsheets or Google Sheets. Anyway, here are my reasons for why I use and like this method. If you resonate with any of this, you can keep watching to learn how to do this. In short, so I have a page where I have the list of all the workouts, and then I have a column that represents a quarter, so a quarter and a year. And for each activity, I have the amount of times that I did it that quarter, that year. And I also have a summary of all activities at the bottom. In terms of organization, I have an overall page, then I have a list of workouts, and then I have a page for each year. And inside each year, I have 4 pages for each quarter. And inside each quarter, I have a table that's just a database of dates and then all the workouts and then really whatever else I feel like tracking. But in this tutorial, I'll just be focusing on this workouts piece. To get started, you just need a Notion account. And the first thing that I'm going to do is we'll create a new page. You can call it whatever you want. Let's just do workouts. The first page that will go inside is going to be a list. And this one is going to be a table. We'll create a new database. And so here we can just fill it out with a couple of workouts. Let's do something like running. And we can add an icon. We could do, I don't know, boxing. Oh, wow, that was pretty cool. It's learning. And then another one, let's do like dance. Let's see if it will give me the right icon. Okay, it didn't work this time. So just to start, I have 3 activities in this list table here. And then actually this tags column, it appears by default when you create your database. I'm just going to delete it. Let's return to the overall workouts page and we'll create another page. Let's do our year 2023. I guess it's the end of September now, so our next and last quarter would be Q4. I'll create another page. We'll call it Q4. This one is also going to be a table. We'll create a new database. Here for the name column, we can actually ignore it. We can delete it, but I don't put anything here. And then this default tags column, I'm going to rename it to date. And for the type, we'll change it to the date as well. And let's just add October 1st, October 2nd, 3rd. And then the next property that I'm going to create, it's going to be a relation. And so when you click it, it's going to prompt you for which database to connect it to. We're going to connect it to the list, which is the database of activities that we just created. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that it's connected both ways. So we'll turn this on. We don't want to set a limit. I'm going to call it Q4 2023. and I'll just do relation in parentheses. So we'll add it. We could update the name to workouts. And so now when I want to click into this cell, I see all of my activities here. And I can add like dance, boxing, and let's do running in the second one. Now when we return back to our list, we see this column here, but it's not very helpful. So what I'm going to do is we'll hide this one from view just so it doesn't clutter the overall page. And instead we'll create a different type of column called rollup. And for this rollup, we're going to first rename it to Q4 2023. And then for the relation, we only have one relation so far. So we'll pick this one. And you can see, again, we have all this stuff that doesn't really tell us much. So for the property, we're going to change it from name, which we don't even have any names. We'll switch it to workouts. And instead of show original, we're going to do the count. Now you can see inside Q4, we technically used every activity once. When we go inside the list, we have one for each. If I were to add, let's say, another run for October 3rd, I return to the list, and under running, I see that I have 2 activities. And something that I like to do is at the bottom here, you can choose to calculate the sum of all activities. I just like seeing the total amount of workouts that I did that quarter. Let's return to our Q4 database. And something that's really cool is, let's say we have October 4th here, and I did some new type of activity that's not currently on the list. So I don't have to go back to the list to add it. I can add it directly from here. Let's do something simple like walking. I can just do another icon. And then when I return to the list, I can see that I have this new entry here, and it already has one. Something that I really like to do in this database is for the footer cell under workouts, calculate percent not empty. This is just something that helps me psychologically when, let's say, I have 2 days where I didn't work out and it just starts to feel like a very big deal and like I'm falling so far behind. And then I go inside the stable and it says percent not empty, like 97 or 90. And it just helps me to shift my mindset. I don't know, just a little mind trick that helps to shift the perspective. All right, that's about everything that I wanted to cover. Couple more things is that for this list here, so you are creating all these activities as their own pages, which means that if you did want to add some details inside some tables or something else, you can do that just by clicking on this page and adding whatever you want in here. And then another tip that you can use is that obviously when you have this type of structure, it can take a while to get to your current quarter database. So something that I do is I mark it as favorite so that it shows up under my favorites on the left and it's always here at the top. So whenever I open Notion, it's right there and I can just add my entry right away. It's just very convenient. Anyway, that's it. Again, you don't have to use it for workouts. You can use it for work. You can use it to track your hobbies. I just think it's a very fun way to get an overall sense of maybe certain parts of your life and see how your interests change, or use it as a way to track whatever it is that you're doing. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for watching, and until next time, bye-bye.